This video is not going to be my normal content. This video is going to be me talking about a bug that is currently affecting hundreds, if not thousands of smaller YouTube channels, myself included. And the too long didn't read of the bug is essentially YouTube is robbing smaller creators of their ad revenue. In this video, I'm going to be talking about sort of the greater picture and sharing some theories on what I think is happening. I'm also going to be talking about my experience with creator support. And then finally, I'm going to share all of my analytics with you, including my earnings, my watch time, all of my estimated monetized playbacks, my CPM. We're going to be going over all of that because it proves without a shadow of a doubt that I'm just not wrong here. If you want some quick context as to what I'm about to talk about before actually listening to the video, if you just search the hashtag YouTubeWageTheft on Twitter, you'll find a lot of tweets about the issue. Forbes has put out an article. I'll link it in the description down below. It's going over one creator's experience, and then it also has experiences from several other creators about how they've just been essentially demonetized for large periods of time. But yeah, that's just it. Let's just start talking about the entirety of what's happening. So like I said at the beginning of the video, the too long didn't read of this is YouTube is essentially just stealing revenue from smaller creators. The bigger picture is that YouTube is essentially demonetizing channels for long periods of time due to invalid traffic activity or invalid clicks. They use a lot of words to describe this, but what they're saying is that all of the views on your channel for these days were invalid, which is why at the end of this video, we're going to jump into my analytics and I'm just going to prove that wrong. There seem to be a few commonalities between all the creators getting affected by this bug. The first is that the overwhelming majority seem to be in the gaming space in one way or another. I've seen a lot of Magic the Gathering channels. I've seen other Pokemon channels. I have also seen travel channels and one guy who does slot machines. He was actually the first person to start talking about it, Mid-South Slots. He was the first person to bring this to light. So maybe not entirely gaming, but the overwhelming majority of people I've seen talk about this bug are gaming channels. The next commonality is that all of the creators affected, at least all of the creators I've seen affected, are under 100,000 subscribers. I have a few theories as to what this may be. The first one is that once you reach that sub threshold, I think you're probably put into a different sort of category for advertisers. The second theory has nothing to do with why this is happening. The second theory is why this is continuing. If this was affecting larger creators on the platform, like if Mr. Beast lost 2 weeks worth of revenue, you know this bug would have been fixed and Mr. Beast back paid 2 weeks ago. It would have been done. This is only affecting smaller creators, which means we don't have as big of a voice here on the platform. We don't have as big of a voice on other platforms like Twitter. It is hard for us to get a rally cry going because we just don't have the reach that other creators have. So my point here is that if you are a fan of smaller creators, not just me, but any smaller creators, and again, the threshold seems to be less than 100,000 subscribers, reach out to them, let them know you support them, fight for us. It really means a lot. This bug currently makes it impossible to try and grind out YouTube. It makes it impossible to try and grow as a full-time creator. The final commonality I've noticed here, and this isn't a cause of why this is happening, this is an effect of this happening. Every creator that this has happened to has had our CPM rates, which is essentially how much we get paid for the views on our videos, slashed in half, sometimes slashed like quartered. This is why I'm going to show you my analytics and show you exactly how this isn't just affecting me for a 9-day period, but it's now currently affecting every video I put out, regardless of click-through rate, regardless of watch time, regardless of traction. Okay, so that's all the big picture stuff out of the way, right? YouTube is essentially taking revenue from smaller creators for periods of time and then also making it impossible for us to have good ad rates moving forward because our channels are apparently receiving a massive amount of invalid traffic. So now we're going to talk about my fantastic experience with YouTube partner support or creator support. I just want to state right away, I'm not going to be sharing the specific emails. I'm not going to be showing them on screen. I don't understand the legality of all that to know if I'm allowed to do so. I'm going to be paraphrasing these. You're just going to have to trust me on this. I have a ton of people who can vouch for me that I have shown the emails to. But let's just get into it. I first noticed this about a week ago. I went to bed, I was stoked. I'm making exponentially more on YouTube than I ever have in the past. And then I woke up and about 30 to 40% of my estimated revenue for the last 28 days was gone. I immediately reached out to YouTube partner support. They got back to me relatively quickly, which was the only positive interaction I had at all. After that, they essentially told me, well, your channel seems to be affected by invalid activity. And then they just give me all of these sort of cookie cutter canned responses. The first one here was invalid activity on your channel may affect how your estimated revenue is displayed on YouTube analytics. Invalid activity is ad views or engagement that typically do not represent genuine user interest or intent. It can include malicious behavior ranging from automated click tools to bot traffic, or even smaller cases like accidental clicks or encouraging others to watch your ads. So this is, sort of like everybody knows this, right? Don't view bot your videos. Don't tell your viewers to watch your ads. You do not do those things. Those things are against TOS. I have not done those things. They also say invalid activity could be people that don't represent genuine user interest or intent, which I'm assuming is if you click on a video and then click away immediately. Either way, we're going to talk about exactly why I can prove without a shadow of a doubt that I am not affected by this, that the period of time that they have demonetized me for, I have not been affected by this. We go back and forth. I provide screenshots. I show them my analytics to my video. And every time they're like, oh, thank you for these screenshots. This helps give us better insight. Also, we've double checked and you are just experiencing invalid activity. And then I'm like, why are my CPM rates cut in half? Why are my CPM and RPM rates so low? Quick lesson, CPM is cost per mile or cost per millennia. It's basically the cost per 1,000 impressions on an ad. So if I put an ad on my video, the CPM rate of that ad is how many times that ad is viewed 1,000 times. And RPM is essentially how much I as a creator make per 1,000 impressions. So CPM is how much advertisers are paying for 1,000 views on my ads. RPM is my cut from that. I ask why those numbers are so low, and the response I get is, again, due to invalid traffic. So not only did I just not make revenue for 9 days, but then on top of that, they are cutting my revenue going forward because they believe that my channel is just infested with invalid traffic. I go back and forth with these people. I show them screenshots. I provide them analytics from a stream I did. If you don't know my channel at all, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but I'm in the gaming space. A new DLC dropped for Pokemon. That's the game my channel is based around. I streamed it on YouTube and I got a ton of traction. I streamed for over 1,000 concurrents. I held 800 for most of the stream. It was a lot of people in and out. There were a lot of unique viewers. I think the unique viewers on the stream are 6,000 something. I explain all this to them and I'm like, this is not invalid traffic. This is the day you started saying that all of my traffic was invalid, which I think kind of, at least a part of me believes that they're trying to hit channels that are seeing growth right now, which should be good on the platform. You should be looking for growth, but it feels like a lot of the channels that they're hitting are channels that maybe have had a better month or have just sort of like hit the algorithm correctly and started growing. I don't know. Regardless, I keep sending them analytics. I keep talking to them about things from my perspective. I keep showing them the raw data from my perspective. And every time they're like, oh, thank you for providing these screenshots. This gives us insight. Also, your channel is still affected by invalid traffic. Also, we've double checked it. Also, people have investigated it. I want to go out and say this. I don't know if this is factual. I'm not even sure I'm talking to real people. I keep getting these responses where it'll be like, oh, my name is insert person here. I'm stepping in for the person that was helping you. And then I'll get another email and it's like, oh, my name is this person here. I'm stepping in for these two people that were helping you. And then it'll be the original person that was helping me again. And I don't know if these are real people or canned responses. This could just be Google's machine learning giving me the same responses over and over and over again. I honestly don't know if I'm talking to real people in these emails. I'm not getting anywhere. They're not responding to any of my questions. Like, none of my questions have been answered. They keep regurgitating the same information. The only thing they can tell me is that invalid traffic is infesting my channel, and now we're going to look at the analytics, and I'm just going to prove how this is not a thing. Okay, so these are my analytics. I'm not going to hide anything. I'm going to show you all the raw data, and the first thing I want to get out of the way is that yes, everything is trending upwards. Even my revenue, this is more revenue than I've made on YouTube ever in a 28-day period. I would like to say that this is inflated by transaction revenue. We're going to get into that. But like I said, this was the 22nd. This is when I first got hit, was October 22nd. That was the release of the game I mentioned earlier. I streamed it here on YouTube. I got 79,000 views that day. It obviously, like, it was still pretty hype for the next weekend, and then everything leveled out, and now I'm getting between 10,000 and 20,000 views a day on average. It sort of like trending towards the low middle of that, right? Like probably 10 to 12, 11,000-ish views. So moving forward, the analytics that I think are important to look at on this overview page are the number of views I've gotten over the past 28 days and the revenue I've gained over the past 28 days. Everything else to me, I think is a little bit less important in proving my point. If we look at reach, I've had 212,000 unique viewers over the last 28 days. If we go to engagement, I've had an average view duration of 8 minutes. This is all just sort of to prove the point that all of these people are not bots. Over 416,000 views on my page over the last 28 days. My average view duration is 8 minutes. One of the things they said in the email was that people that are disinterested or they aren't genuinely interested in the content, this view duration would be much lower. For reference here, the view duration is lower right now over this 28 days in the last 28-day period because I've started streaming on the platform, because I've gained a lot of new viewers on the platform, and also because I've posted some shorter form content. My average view duration might be down during this period, but this number is not at all indicative of what they are suggesting, sort of like click farming or bots watching videos. Your view duration would be seconds at best on videos. It would tank your view duration. So now if we move from the engagement tab to the audience tab, you can start seeing the demographics of my audience. You can see the age and gender demographics, the top geography, so where most of my audience lives. You can see all these videos, which are just videos that my audience has watched. You can see that 18.9% of my audience has turned on the notification bell, which all of this data to me just goes to prove that I have an actual audience that is consuming content on YouTube outside of my content. I have an actual audience that has notifications turned on, like 2.2 thousand people. I'm sure that's not a lot for a lot of creators, but for someone my size, that's really dope. That is 2,000 people that have notifications turned on for my video. That is 2,000 people that probably genuinely interact with my videos on a pretty frequent basis. And now we're finally going to look at the revenue tab. This is where things really get bad. I would like to say that while this number might not look awful to a lot of people, my CPM was much higher than this. This is an average of my CPM over the last 28 days, which includes videos from before my channel got hit with all of these false and valid traffic claims. This is not indicative of the CPM I'm currently making on new videos. Okay, so if we're looking at my estimated revenue from a holistic view, you'll see that the graph is like kind of stable here, and then it just gets really, really jagged. That's because from this point to I think here, all of my revenue was generated from transactions. If you scroll down here, transactions, which are people that are kind enough to super chat or kind enough to become members on my channel, people that are supporting my content monetarily in one way or another, account for $600 of the $950 I've made this month. Ad revenue accounts for 230, premium revenue for 110. This is pretty standard that premium is the lowest, but I do want to point out that during these days, like in this time period, I also made $0 in YouTube premium revenue, which is very concerning because you're telling me that the people that are paying for a YouTube premium account to support creators cannot support a certain set of creators because you are just flagging all of their traffic as invalid. Anyways, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to go to see more and we're going to look at what exactly is happening. If we change this graph to estimated monetized playbacks, what you're going to see here is that this just flatlines from October 22nd to the 31st. I didn't start making ad revenue again until these days. And now my ad revenue is severely cut. It is insane how low I am making on each video. Another number I want to look at here is my estimated monetized playbacks. If you actually look at it, only 85,000 of the 416,000 playbacks I've had over the past 28 days are monetizable. Essentially is what this is saying. This is just an entire 9-day period where YouTube said 0% of my traffic was legitimate. So now let's go dive into some statistics to disprove that. So the first thing we're going to look at here is live streams. I think that live streams have really important information that can just kind of dispute by itself that I had 0 legitimate traffic during that 9-day period. This one was the biggest one. This was the one I did on release of the new Pokemon DLC. The other two were the biggest that I've done. We're going to look at them. This is the release one. Itself, it generated almost 1,000 hours of watch time. I gained 146 subscribers off of it. My estimated revenue for this stream is laughably low at $2.74. And again, that is because if you go to revenue on this and then you change see more to monetize playbacks, you will see that it just flatlines here until it started trickling in some views again. So I've made $2 off of it since that has happened. My CPM is $1.97 on the video. But if we actually look at the overview of the video, you can see that it's just actually impossible that I had 0 legitimate clicks or interest. I streamed for a maximum of 1,089 people. I had 1,089 peak concurrents on the stream. If you come up here and you see audience on the stream, I had 7.8 thousand unique viewers during the stream. The stream itself generated almost 1,000 hours of watch time. Like, it's insane to me that they're saying that basically everyone that was in the stream interacting with me, people that super chatted, like subscribed to my channel or became a member of my channel, like people that supported me monetarily during the stream, none of it was legitimate. That's wild to me. This was a brand new game. Of course, there's a lot of hype around it. Of course, this is going to outperform a lot of what I do on my channel. I understand that. But to say that it is all invalid is wild. This was the next day stream. This revenue, I think, let's look into this. So I was going to say, I'm pretty sure this revenue is transaction revenue largely. Transaction revenue, $24, right? My CPM, again, incredibly low. If we go to estimated revenue and we change it to playback, monetized playbacks, again, you'll see same thing. I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to stop trying to like hammer that in. Same thing here. Oh wait, how many peak concurrents do we have in this stream? Let me go to my overview. Peak concurrents right here, 914 peak concurrents. The audience on this one I think is wild. I think I had 31,000 unique viewers. So 31,000 people came in and out of the stream over the course of it. Same thing here. Again, the estimated revenue, this is transaction revenue, 464 peak concurrents. And then if we go to the audience, 3.3 thousand unique viewers. I think this is really good data to look at because if you just look at it, you can tell without a shadow of a doubt that it is statistically impossible and I think highly illogical to assume that everything during this period of time, just everything that happened between October 22nd and October 31st, it is impossible for all of this to be invalid traffic. Okay, so now if we go to more standard VODs and uploaded videos that I've done, I'm going to take a look at some that happened before I really got hit with the invalid traffic. These prediction videos. They did really well for my channel. This estimated revenue is actually ad revenue. If we go to revenue, you'll see that my CPM was $7.94, which was a little bit on the low side for me, but not awful. But again, if we go to my playbacks, you'll see that this video actually got cut short here. It was making... it got cut short here. It was making like pretty substantial growth. And then on the 22nd, it just flatlined and it's flatlined since then because it's not super relevant anymore. Same for this video. I think this video has this video has almost a $9 CPM, which was where my channel was sitting on average. We made decent money on this video, for me at least. But again, if you go back to the overview and if we were to look at the estimated monetized playbacks, it would be the same scenario. Oh, it's right here actually. No, this isn't it. This is just the views on the video. Estimated revenue right here. It just flatlines at this point. Like it could have kept growing, but it didn't because on October 22nd, my channel got shut down. Okay, so we looked at those videos, right? They both have a similar view count. One has 11,000, the other has almost 11,000. They both had similar CPMs. One has almost 8, the other has almost 9, which is pretty standard for my channel before everything happened. If we take a look at this video I posted well before my channel got hit, but it didn't actually start picking up traction on the platform until after my channel got hit. If you look at views here, it starts picking up on views around October 22nd, actually, like right here, right? It's sitting at 3,000 views, and then by October 24th, it's at 10,000 views. This video has just been a slow grower for me. It's done really well for views, for watch time. For revenue, it looks similar to the others, but if you consider that the other videos have 10,000 views a piece roughly, and this video has 63,000 views, this 40 number is really bad. If we go to revenue, you'll see the CPM is really poor. My guess here is that this is either just a side effect of it being reaction content. I don't know if maybe that does worse on the platform. But again, if we click playback based CPM, you'll see that I was getting monetized playbacks. I don't even think it is. Actually. I think this kind of disproves that because it had made, $7 on the first 2 days and then it just tanked from there. And now it's making essentially nothing. We're making nothing for more views than we got on these days. So the CPM has just tanked on this video. If we go back to the videos on my channel, you'll see that like anything I've uploaded essentially since October 22nd, like anything that I uploaded before October 22nd, like this video right here, this broken stats video, if we go and we look at my revenue, my CPM was $9 on this video, that's like the upper end of where my CPM was for most videos that I uploaded. If we go back and then we just click on any video after my channel got hit here, let's just take a sampling, right? This was a video I posted on the day my channel got hit, on October 22nd. Then let's go to this. This was a video I posted within the period. It has 5,000 views. And then let's go to videos that are after my channel supposedly just stopped receiving only invalid traffic and started receiving legitimate views again. Let's look at these two, and then let's look at this one. This video is doing really well for my channel in terms of views. It's kind of clickbaity, so the like ratio is not very good. Okay, this video I posted on the day I got hit. My CPM, it's so low that it's not there. I've made 25 cents on this video. 25 cents for roughly 1,000 views. It's atrocious. This video, I've gotten 5,000 views. My estimated revenue is $2. The CPM on this video, $1.95. The rate I get paid per 1,000 views, 37 cents. This video, I posted outside of the range. Like, these two were within the range of days that my channel was just not generating valid views. Apparently on this video, I'm currently generating valid views. My revenue, my CPM, $3, which is close to a third. It's under a half of, it's in between a third and a half, right, of everything. This video, the CPM $2.19 for, I think this has 4,000. I think both these have like in the 4,000 view range. This video currently has 29,000 views, $10 my revenue, which this video is not 8 minutes, so it doesn't have a mid-roll in it. I know that affects your CPM rates, but I didn't think that it would cut your CPM rates from $9 to $1.55. Like, and I'm not here to complain that I am kind of complaining that I'm not getting paid, because I was really trying to push YouTube as a potential career option for me right now. And I am currently making pennies for the hours I'm spending filming and editing content. So yeah, I guess I am kind of complaining about not getting paid. And don't get me wrong, I don't mean to come off as ungrateful. I'm incredibly thankful that I found an audience here on the platform. I'm incredibly thankful that I'm growing, because I am still growing at a pretty reasonable rate. Like, I'm excited for those things, but I saw a potential for me to make YouTube a career, and right now that's not physically possible for me. I've been pouring myself into my videos, and I'm going to keep doing it because I really have faith that this will get sorted out. But right now it's a mess. And honestly, YouTube just has to respond to this. This can't keep happening. There's no way that the platform can succeed if it keeps shutting down small creators before they can ever reach the point of becoming large creators. That's not how this platform works. So yeah, that's what I've been dealing with on YouTube over the past week or so. And YouTube partner support has been zero help. I provided them with all the in-depth analytics that I just showed you, and they just keep telling me that, yeah, all my views are invalid. I don't have a single person watching my videos generating ad revenue for me. And don't get me wrong, again, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining for not getting paid. I really appreciate all the support I've gotten recently, and other creators have been hit much harder than I have. I feel thankful right now that I've been streaming on the platform as well, because that has also generated revenue for me. Other creators, all they do is upload to YouTube, and those creators are hurting a ton. I'm talking about potentially thousands of dollars of lost revenue on the platform, and they don't even have the money to pay their bills. So I have a few call to actions here at the end of the video. The first is that if you are a smaller creator and this is affecting you, I would urge you to share your story. I think the more of us that speak up, the louder our voices are, and the more likely we are to be heard. It's really hard to ignore a massive amount of people versus just ignoring a few. The second is, if you're a smaller creator and this isn't affecting you, I would urge you to keep track of your analytics. Checking your estimated monetized playback seems to be the best way to do that. I would check that daily. If your channel flatlines, again, share your story. I think it's really important. The third call to action here goes out to two different groups of people. The first is that if you are a subscriber or a fan of a smaller creator who is affected by this, figure out a way to support them. I don't necessarily mean monetarily. Like, if you can, that's great. But what I'm really meaning here is, like, if you can tweet out when they go live, when they're streaming, if you can tweet out their videos, if you can share their message of how this is affecting them, I think that goes a long way. And I think that, again, the more of us that bring this issue up, the harder it is to ignore. And the second call to action here is just larger creators who are friends or fans of smaller creators. Your voice on this platform carries a lot more weight. And if you can signal boost us in any way, I think that that would help out immensely, because YouTube just doesn't care about us as much. I mean, it makes sense, right? We don't make YouTube as much money. I don't think that means the ecosystem should be this imbalanced, but it is. YouTube's a business. I get that to some extent. But if larger creators start signal boosting us smaller creators, I think we'll get much more headway on this situation much more quickly. All right, that's it. That's the video. You can leave your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. If you would leave a like on the video, I think it would help promote the video and get it out there in front of more people's eyes. If you are a larger creator and you would like to have a conversation with me, feel free to follow me on Twitter or DM me on Twitter. We can DM back and forth. If you are a smaller creator who has been affected by this, same goes to you. I would love to have a conversation with you. If you want to share this video with larger creators, I think that that would also help. But that's it. I'm really beaten down right now. I'm incredibly stressed. But I am, again, fortunate enough to be in a position where this isn't just going to end me, where other people are not in that position. It's just been a really stressful week for multiple reasons, and I wanted to talk about this sooner, but the elections were way more important. But yeah, that's it. That's the video. I'm kind of done here. I gotta leave. Okay, bye.